Hello and welcome to Teamsport GOSPORT. We are here for Need for Speed this evening. The OKC quali has just opened, so we're hoping to set some good laps for that. But likelihood is it might not go as planned, but we should qualify for the OKC anyway. Middleweights isn't a very popular class here at GOSPORT, so we should be okay. And I'll speak to you lot after quali. I'm going to show you that booth now.
So jumping into our practice quali, I'm just going to use the 5-minute practice that we're currently in to just run through the format for anyone who hasn't raced a Need for Speed event before. The event follows a format of 5-minute practice followed by a 1-lap shootout to decide the start position for the main race. Once that's all out of the way, you go into a 45-minute dash, which has 2 car swaps because Biz Gen 1 electric cars can't do more than about 20 minutes before they start to really out power. That we're going to go up the inside into the final corner just to round off our practice before we jump into our qualifying lap, which I'll show you now. So jumping into our qualifying lap now, we're just warming up the tyres, trying to do as much scrubbing as possible just to make sure we've got some front temperature. But we're going to go really wide here just through the final corner so we get a really nice run down to the start line once we're on speed 3, which is there. We're going to cross the start line to open up 1 and 2 and nice and tidy through there, not so much oversteer. And now we head down to turn 3 where we get quite a good run through. And going into 4 we get lots of mid-corner oversteer, and in 5 we throw it in way too aggressively and we're fighting the wheel the whole way through. So we're going to go into turn 7 now, nice and tidy through there. Into 8, another bit more oversteer, fighting the wheel mid-corner once again. Not too happy with that through there, not too happy with the kart and this lap in general. And through the final corner we go miles from the apex and we probably lost ourselves another 10th there, and we cross the line and that lap will put us P2.
Okay, so qualifying done. We've qualified P2 behind Alexander. He's just stepped up from juniors. He's actually really quick. Yes, he's 55 kilos, but the kid's so yeah, props to him. We've spoken to each other. We're just going to try and work together and build as big a gap we can. There's not much of a gap between everyone behind us, so we should be able to just pull away. And it's a 45-minute race from now. And yeah, I think he put it on pole by 2 attempts. He did 30.5, I did 30.7, I think. So it's just going to be a race of attrition now. It's 45 minutes, 2 pit stops, and I'll catch you guys after that's all done.
So heading into the race now, sat on the grid, qualified P2, Alexander's obviously ahead of us, he qualified first. Got 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5, and lights go green and away we go. And we're going to cover off P3 on the left hand side, and we're going to tuck in behind Alexander, who goes semi-defensive into turn 3. He's going to make a big mistake, clipping the barrier, which puts us right on his tail again through 4 and through 5. You can see we close right up to him, but he just pulls away on the exit a little bit. We have a look over our shoulder. We've managed to pull. Not a massive gap, but a gap we don't need to worry about for the rest of this lap. So we're going to go up and see how much Alexander pulls away with the weight difference going up the bridge. But we're just going to tuck in behind for the end of lap 1, hold P2, and I think from now Alexander's going to pull away a little bit just through this opening phase of the race. We're going to make a bit wide through 3 there. But it's through 4 and 5, nice and tidy again. Like I was really happy with this kart at the start of the race, to be honest. And yeah, we're just trying to keep with Alexander as best we can. Obviously, he's gaining quite a lot on us every time going up the bridge from his weight, because I weigh, as a middleweight, I'm at 70 kilos, and Alexander's a junior. He's at 55, so there's a 15 kilo difference between the 2 of us, which obviously makes quite a lot of difference in rental go-karts. So yeah, we're just tucking him behind. See, we're doing well to stick with him. We're actually closing up on him this lap, but yeah, never really a chance to make a move on him down the bridge. We're pointing him to go forward because he's going defensive, and we agreed pre-race, like I said, in between qualifying and the race, I said, we'll just work together, see how much we can go. But him going defensive is going to cost us both time when we're both quick enough to just pull away from the gap behind us. P3 I think qualified 2 or 3 turns down on me, so we had the distance to just go. But you can see we jump forward a little bit here, and I don't know what lap this is now, but jump forward and we're looking over our shoulder and we're having to go defensive because we're getting held up by Alexander, and he kicked so early that I nearly overtook him by accident. But if I did not come off the brakes or stay on the brakes for that long, I would have ended up going inside of him, which would have been a penalty point, or possibly even just a straight penalty, which we don't want. So we're just going to tuck straight back in. But from now, I'm defending from now. pretty much every corner, the guy in P3's, like, I think it's a train from P1 to P5, will just nose to tail. And you can see, looking over my shoulder again, P3's right there. So we go defensive again, but end up going really slow because Alexander takes that final corner very differently to how most of us do on a Thursday night. But yeah, we're just trying our best to stick with him, and we're doing well to sort of hold our position and not get dropped, because you often find in racing, the minute you start defending, you're going to lose yourself heaps of time. But we're doing quite well, like I said, to stay with Alexander, but also to see, you just see the shadow of the car behind is right there. We go defensive, and again almost end up going for a move on Alexander, which is something we don't want to do. And the car behind actually tried to go around the outside of us there, which is never going to work. He tried it multiple times during the evening, but it's just something that wasn't ever really going to work. It's something that you have to have a significant pace advantage through that corner to really be able to make that work. Even if you go for a switchback through there, you then put yourself on the wrong side for turns 1 and 2. Because we've just got in the habit now of just checking, going defensive, and it's just all, the plan's gone out the window. You see Alexander's starting to pull a gap on us now, like the defence is becoming a bit too much to be able to stick with him. But Alex keeps making mistakes, which is helpful because, as you can see, we just claw right back all the time we've lost. And he seemed to be down on power, because through here we just caught him like a no man's business, and so he's still getting a bit of oversteer mid-corner, sliding quite a lot. We jump forward once again, and we're going through 4 and 5 this time, and you can see we gain lots of Alexander on entry, and we just get a little bump from behind, and we end up pushing Alexander away. You can see I'm pointing behind me to say it wasn't me, it was the driver behind, because we got loaded into the side of him, go really tight into the hairpin, go defensive up the bridge and down it as well, because Alex is quite there. But from now, we just start to pull a gap. We get our head down, we look back as we're going up, and to be fair, I probably didn't need to defend. And you see there, I've pointed at Alex to just go forward, he's right there. But from now, it was really, I just got my head down, lap car pulls out the way, which is very nice of them. But from now, I just pulled the gap, and I was free from Alexander behind, and we were just able to push forward. But yeah, from here on, just trying to peel myself as much of a gap for the pit stops, because we're probably about 12 or so minutes into the race by now, so we're coming near to the first pit stops. We just want to try and close that down, and we'll skip forward once more. You see blue flag behind, that's going out to Alexander to call him into the pit lane, so we know we've got 2 laps to our pit stop pretty much. So it's now time to really put in the work, and you can see we're going nice and tidy through 4 and through 5, not much oversteer, running a bit wide, clipping the barrier, but still keeping up that minimum speed and still pushing away. By this point we've dropped P3, the person who was fighting us at the beginning. We've completely dropped them. They're like about 3-4 corners back from us now, so we've really put the work in. You see Marshall's picked up the blue flag, so we know really we're in on this lap, which is always good because it means new car. Obviously Alex is warming up his tyres, so when we come out the pit lane, we'll be on freezing cold tyres, whereas he'll be on nice toast tyres. See, there he is on the left, so he's about half a lap behind us on the track, or ahead, however you want to see it. Obviously we're still running P1, but as we come down the bridge, see the Marshall's got the blue flag in hand, and he's going to wave it at us. We give him a little nod to acknowledge that it's our turn in, and we're going to go through 1 and 2 and try and really maximise this pit lane. The speed limit was off on pit lane, so we're able to just go as fast as we wanted. So you can see it's still speed through in the pit lane, out as quick as we can. Haven't fully stopped the kart, but that didn't matter. Marshall turns the kart on, we're straight in on the throttle. Brake test, he's happy with that. We were still moving, but we locked the brakes, so he's happy that we can confidently stop the kart. And you see Alex is miles behind. We pulled a bigger gap to him than we had originally, which is really helpful. But because we're in our own race again, we have no one directed to us. We're just going to try and build a gap, warm these tyres up as quickly as possible, and get used to this car. I felt that it didn't quite have the mid-court. It felt like it might have had a slightly flatter tyre on one side, because it didn't really feel like it wanted to turn left, which is an issue I had a couple of weeks back, where I had a flat tyre and I was basically driving like I was in the wet. But this time it was all good. We're in net P1. We're probably about 4th on track now, but yeah, we're going to jump forward in a minute just to some interesting footage, because obviously we are quickest on circuit at the minute. You see the blue flags going back out for probably a lap car, But we're going to jump forward again now as we catch up to a back marker here, who I think he was running 4th place. There was only 6 of us on this race event. It was quite quiet for a usual Thursday night. But you can see we're catching up and he's looking over his shoulder, so I'm half thinking, oh, he's going to let us through. And you see he's just going to go through 1 and 2. We gain a lot through here. He's going to pull away a little bit on exit, just to get a little bit of oversteer mid-corner. But through 3 he clips the barrier, and through 4 he gets very sideways, and same through 5 he loses loads of speed as he scrubs off all his speed. And going through 7 into 8 as well, he gets really sideways and gets a really poor exit, and we're right on him. He looks over his shoulder and he goes defensive. You can hear me shouting in the background that he's a lap down, and I'm getting a bit frustrated. I'm like, because obviously I've got Alexander behind me. I'm worried that he's just going to keep blocking, and I'm going to end up losing all the time that I've managed to gain. But you can see we get a better run coming out this final corner, so we lift off a little bit and we get back on the throttle and absolutely fire one straight at the inside, perfectly clean. The noise was me hitting the barrier, not him, just to defend my own honour. But yeah, no, we're all good. We cleared the back marker now. Marshall was on the radio, but nothing doing. I was fully alongside at the apex, so completely fair move, harsh but fair. And we're going to jump forward again in a second as we go to the next round of pit stops, because from here on there was nothing going. So you see Marshall's got blue flag for Alex once again. He's go flag that behind us, so we know we've got about 2 or 3 laps. You can hear myself saying 2 laps to go. So getting angry once again because I didn't like this kart and felt like I was driving awfully. I was actually setting purple laps with this kart, which was quite strange. But yeah, going through the final corner, expecting, possibly knowing that I've probably got 1 more lap, and we're going to go through 1, 2 once again. We've got clear track ahead of us, so it's just a matter of trying to use that as much as possible and push into it. You see Alex is just going through the hairpin before the up ramp, so he's probably 3/4 a lap down on us now instead of half like he was at the first set of pit stops. So we've gained time, or he's lost time in the pits. So we could look at it 2 ways. But we're going to come through the final corner. Are we going to get the blue flag this time? No. So we know we've got at least 1 more. I believe it is 1 more, because the pit lane was a lot different this time. So we're going to go through 3 once again, into 4 and 5, nice and tidy. We're getting quite bouncy, a little bit of oversteer on the exit, which isn't always helpful. And into 6 and into 7 and 8. And you see we're looking down at Marshall. He's looking forward, he's waiting for us, so we know we're coming in this lap. There you go, flag's been waved. Give him a little nod that we've acknowledged it. And we're going to go into the pit lane at the end of this lap, and we know we've got to go to the end, so we get a lot further in, try not to kill the cadet carts. Out the cart, we get a little bit stuck getting out on the seat insert, and we're running down the pit lane to get into our cart. And as I got in, you can see I'm grabbing my knee. I can't stop, and I twisted my knee getting into the cart. So a bit of backstory to this event is I played rugby with my college, and you can hear in the background I had ruptured my ACL back in March, and been doing physio, but the actual incident, I haven't had any proper fix for it yet. And as I was getting in, I just twisted my knee a little bit too much. See, Marshall's helping me come down the pit lane, but yeah, just twisted a little bit too much, so I had to retire from this race, which was quite annoying because we were on for a win, and obviously I could have just taken my time a little bit more and I would have been smooth sailing to the end. But annoying end to what could have been quite a good day. But yeah, we can get out of the pit lane now, and yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all after Dunkswell. Goodbye.